Did you know that every week nearly 60,000 children are reported as abused or neglected?
No.
No? Okay. About 520,000 of these children end up in foster care every year. Today I'm going to share some facts with you about the foster care system. I'm going to go over the pros and the cons. I have been a foster child for over 3 years, and I've experienced, the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, firsthand. Today I'm going to be telling you about, first, the statistics of foster care. Second, I will explain some of the foster care processes and how they work. Third, I will tell you about my own experiences with foster care. And finally, I will describe some of the pros and cons from the perspective of the actual foster parent. Let's start with some facts. I already stated the shocking number of children that end up in foster care each year, but did you know approximately 800,000 children every year just come in contact with the system, whether it's for a day, for a couple weeks? Taxpayers spend $22 billion a year, that's $40,000 a child, on foster care programs. Wade Horn of DHHS states that $5 billion alone just goes to keeping kids in foster care. 80 to 90% of placements are caused by parental substance abuse. 40,000 infants become foster children every year, and the average foster care stay is approximately 3 years. For the first visual aid, I have, the projector was broken, but I can show you a couple of facts that I had mapped out where 30% of homeless people and 25% of prisoners report being in foster care. 1 out of 5 will become homeless at 18. Less than 3% of children will earn a college degree. 71% of young women end up pregnant by 21, and 1 out of 4 will experience PTSD. There are many different ways foster care works. Children can be taken from the home for a number of reasons. 61% of children being placed in foster care is because of neglect. 32% is because of parental drug abuse. 13% is because of physical abuse, and 11% is because of the child's behavior. Some children go to foster homes right away, some go to programs right away, and some go to kinship homes. A kinship home is when you're placed with like a family member or like a blood relative. In Omaha, foster kids might be placed in programs such as CSI, Youth Links, or Boys Town. CSI and Youth Links are shelters, typically a 3-month program. Boys Town is like an actual group home. On average, they will be in at least 3 foster care placements within their time. Children may be removed for behavior issues between foster placement and workers, bad living conditions, or it might just not work out. For example, some of my own personal experience in foster care, my first night getting placed in foster care, I spent it at Project Harmony. They literally handed me a bag, much like this one right here, and told me that's what you have to live off of. Didn't get to see my family after that, didn't get to see, anybody to comfort me, and I went to my first foster home with a bag just like that. I've been in 16 foster homes and 6 placements. I've been moved for my behavior because I've run away. There's been bad living conditions in the home, and there's been conflict between my worker and the parents. I've experienced really good foster homes where they had lots of money, they took care of me, they were in it because they really cared. I've had other foster parents where they had roaches, they abused me, where they'd talk down on me, call me out my name. I even had some that would not let me upstairs. I had to stay downstairs. I wasn't welcome to commingle with their family. The process for foster care, every time you move, there's more paperwork every time. That's one of the really hard things. No matter what foster home I've been to, I got to fill out the same papers. I got to tell my story all over again. And that gets really hard. It gets really repetitive. But it's not just hard on the foster child. Being a foster parent has a lot of pros and cons too. It's really hard because social workers tend to lie and minimize the child's needs because it's really hard to place people. Like right now, it's impossible to place teenage girls, and they might, minimize, oh, they haven't ran that much, or the behavior isn't that bad. And then that's hard because the parent accepts them in not knowing what they really got on their hands. Most foster children have behavior issues, whether it's a mental problem like PTSD, anxiety, depression. Otherwise, they might just have behavior problems like stealing, running away, something like that. Some children have attachment issues. It's hard because a child can be in your home for months and you can get really attached to them, and then they'll leave and never talk to you again. And, you know, it's hard for people to like get attached to the kids, and then that leads to the parents not caring about the kids, stuff like that. The biggest pro of being a foster parent is you're helping a child in need. These children are put in foster care because they have nowhere to go. You know, and it's a great thing because people that do it, that are doing it for the right reasons, you know, they're helping them out because, you know, everybody needs somebody like that. I'm using this as a visual aid today. It's a poem written by a foster child that really touched me. And it's kind of short, but it says, I am a foster child. I wonder how long I will stay at this house. I hear my caseworker tell me I have to move again. I see the outside of my new house and wonder what waits for me beyond the door. I want so much more than what I am given. I'm a foster child. I pretend 7 different homes and families in 1 year is okay. I touch the warm tears sliding down my face. I worry about my safety. I cry myself to sleep because I am scared. I am a foster child. I understand more than I should for my age. I say I look forward to coming to school and I mean it. I dream of nice parents who love me unconditionally. I try to believe in my uncertain future. I have hope. I'm a foster child. So it is what it is. There's the pros and cons of foster care, which is helping children in need. But there's the cons too, which is the possibility of poor living conditions and possibility of abuse. Foster care, the system, it's not going to be perfect. You know, the people that work for it aren't going to be perfect. But when it comes down to it, it's pretty good considering the alternative where the children could be what they could be doing.